Hey guys, so I'm back with a brand new review, because last night I got to see Now You See Me. Brand new in the theaters, literally. It's only like 2, 3 days old, depending on where you are. At least it is in America. The basic plot of the movie is that a group of four magicians pull off extraordinary bank heists during their performances. And it follows the magicians and the FBI agents that are trying to track them down and figure out how they're doing this. I went into this movie seeing only one commercial for it, so I virtually knew nothing about this movie. And I was really impressed with it. I thought it was a really good movie. Um, Jesse Eisenberg heads up the cast as J. Daniel Atlas, the head of the Magicians. He does a good job with his role. It's just I feel like Eisenberg is starting to be typecasted as like the neurotic control freak character because he does a good job with it. So I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. I'm somewhere in between. I didn't think he was anything to write home about, but he does good work. Ela Fisher, hope I'm pronouncing her name right, plays Henley, another one of the magicians. Uh, she's a good character too. She does good work with it. Dave Franco plays Jack Wilder, another magician. Uh, he wasn't great, wasn't bad, just kind of lukewarm. But the real star of the magicians is Woody Harrelson as Merritt McKinney. He does he does Woody. I love Woody Harrelson, and he does such an excellent job with this part. He's funny. He's he's quick witted. He plays a mentalist, and there's that just leaves a lot of opportunities for jokes. It's just really well. It's just a really clever character, and Woody Harrelson does a great job with it. Um, Mark Ruffalo plays FBI agent Dylan Rhodes. Again, wasn't terribly impressed with him, but he wasn't like awful. Uh, Melanie Laurent plays Alma Dre, a French Interpol agent who helps work with the FBI because during the first performance they rob a French bank. Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine are in the movie, and of course they do excellent. I mean, it's Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine. Michael Caine plays Arthur Tressler, who is kind of the stereotypical corrupt, rich British businessman, but it's Michael Caine. Morgan Freeman plays Thaddeus Bradley, a really interesting character who makes a living on exposing the secrets of magicians. And he does such a good job with, as the FBI agent Rhodes puts it, he does such a good job at being a condescending ass the whole time. And I love Morgan Freeman to death, and just did a really good job with it. Um, the plot, like I said, the plot's kind of basic, but it's the way it's handed to you that makes it so memorable and makes it so great. The way the whole movie kind of unfolds like a magic trick in itself, and it's really fun watching it unfold before your eyes as everything starts to fall together and work in, and you figure out how all these things are being done. I have to be honest though. When I said during the first magician performance in the movie, I almost lost faith in the movie because they pick a volunteer from the audience, a French volunteer, and they say they're gonna send him to Paris and have him rob his bank. So they stick him in a teleportation device, and the next thing you know, he's in Paris. And I was sitting there in the theater just thinking, they had better have a really good explanation for this, otherwise I'm done with this movie. But thank God they had a good explanation for everything. And it's just like the old saying, a magician never reveals his never reveals his tricks. So in that sense, it works. You're waiting to find out how this works out, and that's what keeps you on the edge of your seat. That's what keeps you entertained. Um, the movie is very smart, very well written because everything works out perfectly. Uh, it all unfolds and works out in the end, and just it's very very smart. The writers are Ed Solomon and Boaz Yakin. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Big kudos to them. Director Louis Leterrier did a good job too. Um, it's very well paced. It's 116 minutes, but it did not feel long at all because it's so well paced. I don't think there were any parts where I was like, okay, let's move along. Like there were no parts that dragged out. Everything is it's just telling the story. No bull crap. Just moving the story along. Now, I've praised this movie left and right. Let's get to the few gripes I have. Because I have a few gripes. I think there's either 3 or 4. So let's just start with my first gripe. Gripe number 1 is that the camera work is nauseating at times. Uh, there's actually a lot of action sequences. Okay, that reminds me. Before I go into my gripes, I have to talk about the action sequences. They are phenomenally entertaining and well thought out. There's a great action scene between the FBI agent and Jack that employs so many like magician tricks, and it's just so much fun to watch. There's also a great car chase in the middle of the film. But back to my gripe. My gripe with it is that the camera work is nauseating at times because the shaky cam. I I really hate shaky cam unless it's done right, and it's not done right in this movie. It's so jarring, and also there's a lot of shots where the camera will circle around something way too many times than necessary. In fact, I got dizzy a few times watching this. And when a movie makes you dizzy, that takes you out of it, and it really breaks the experience a little bit. My second gripe. CGI replaces a lot of things that could have been done with practical magic tricks. For instance, the Jesse Eisenberg character is always has a deck of cards, and he's always shuffling them, doing neat tricks. Not even card tricks, just fancy flourishes with shuffling them and stuff. And I'm not sure if it was or not, but it looked like it was CG. There's a lot of magic tricks in the movie that are done using CG effects, and that's not necessary. When you have a movie about magicians, use actual magic tricks. You don't need to rely on CGI for everything. Because there's like when they reveal the transportation machine, like the Ela Fisher character throws out these garments and they like swirl about, and that doesn't. No magician can just do that. And even if they can, it doesn't look CG. So either make it look less fake, I guess. Which I know is hard. Granted, I know it's hard. But if it's hard, use real magic effect. Use real magic. Well, like real magician's tricks. My third gripe is that there's really not a lot of exposition given to the magician's motives until the very end of the film. And even then, it's a little rushed. Nothing is nothing about their motives is given a lot of time to shine. And there needs to be more time for them to shine because during the pre-title sequence you find out a little bit about the magicians. They meet up, and then it cuts to a year later. Okay, nothing happened in that year? I mean, there could be a little bit more exposition there. And my fourth gripe has to do with magicians themselves. A lot of time is given in developing the FBI characters and the Interpol agent. Not a lot of time is given developing the magicians, who are supposed to be the stars of the movie. There needed to be apart from like the gimmicks of Woody Harrelson being a wise ass, Jesse Eisenberg being a control freak, and like Jack, I don't know, Jack and the Ela Fisher character, I'm forgetting her name already, weren't really much of anything. There needed to be more. I mean, what they did give, I liked, so I would have liked a lot more. But like I said, though, those are my only gripes about the movie. Because all in all, it was a really enjoyable experience. All in all, I highly recommend it. If you like heist movies, like the Ocean 11 movies, and you want to see like a new twist brought into it, this is the perfect movie for you because it's clever, it's funny, it's just an all in all really fun, really entertaining experience, which I would give 4.5 playing cards out of 5. That is my diagnosis.